Hey, Chef Walker, I want to share with you 4 words that will make an incredible difference in your planning process for the coming year and I think what you accomplish. And but before we start, today is the winter solstice, at least for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. So happy solstice to everyone. For everyone in the, well, I guess it's a solstice for everyone. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the summer solstice. But anyways, it's up here in Colorado, it's the shortest day of the year. It's naturally a time where we look at planning for the coming year. And so many entrepreneurs, they get, I've noticed, I get really excited this time of year. It's my favorite time of year. And I notice so many entrepreneurs get so excited because this is when we're planning our new year. This is when we create what's coming in next year, what's in this coming year, what are we going to accomplish? And that's what's so beautiful about being an entrepreneur is we get to plan our lives and create our lives. It's like the thoughts we have in our head are what drive us. We're not just, getting in the car and driving into work and just waiting until 5 p.m. so we can drive home. We are actively creating our lives. And for many people, the most successful people that I know, they're always planning. And it's just natural at this time of year to be planning your coming year. So the thing I want to share with you, those 4 words, is part of the debrief process. And your debrief is incredibly important. In fact, that's where so much of the value is. Like as you go through and you do a project, or you do an event, or you release a product, or you just do some big thing, or not so big thing in your business, the looking back and seeing how that worked is incredibly important. This is something we do in our team. Every time we do a launch, every time we do an event, every time we do a promotion, we do a debrief and we look back, and this is the key. These are the 4 words that are so important. We look back and we say, what worked well and what do we want to do differently? So we call it, our shorthand is worked well, do differently. And this is something I learned about 15 years ago. So every time we do a project, we look back and we start off. It's always good to start with the positive, right? So what worked well? And you just go through and you just list everything without and the worked well, it's great to go ahead and celebrate it. And it's generally, especially if you're in a team environment, like when we're on our team, we'll have a team debrief and it's a time to celebrate those wins, what worked well. But it's beyond just celebrating, it's like capturing whatever you'd worked well, you want to repeat that or do more of that in the future. Then after you go through the worked wells, then it's the do differentlys. And I love that phrasing. It's not like, what did we screw up? What did we mess up? What was a horrible mistake? It was like, none of that. Leave that energy behind. It's like, what do we want to do differently? What, either didn't work great and we want to do differently, or what did we forget to do? And so now we want to do that. So that's a do differently. And just for me and for a lot of the people that I share this with, that simple phrasing makes all the difference, because you want to be able to do a debrief, to look back and say, what did we do well? What went well? What do we do differently? Without having to beat yourself up. That's a lot of times people avoid this debrief process because it ends up, they end up either beating themselves up, or the people on the team end up beating each other up, and people get defensive. It's not about being defensive. It's just about improving next year. So as you go through a planning process for your coming year, I invite you to do a worked well, do differently. Pull out your calendar for this past year and just take a look and what big things are on that calendar that you did. What projects did you have? What events did you have? What promotions did you do? What new processes did you bring in? And just go through it and say, okay, for the year, what worked well and what do I do differently? And remember, the values in the debrief, and you want to be gentle in your debrief, and following that process of worked well, do differently is huge. And the reason, when I say be gentle, it doesn't do any good to sit there and beat yourself up over what you didn't accomplish. Certainly you want to look and be aware of what you didn't get to, because all of us have those things. We all, if you're watching this video, then either you're doing big things or you've got dreams for really big things in your life. And none of us hit all our goals all the time. So just look back and say, what worked well and what should I do differently? I just want to close. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating this time of year. I grew up with Christmas in my family, and we celebrate it, and we have a wonderful time at Christmas. So well, Merry Christmas to you. Or if you're celebrating, whatever you're celebrating, I just wish you well for this holiday season and for the coming year. If you're watching this video anywhere else besides my blog at jeffwalker.com, head over there. That's where all the action is. That's where I'm in there answering the comments. And let's go get them this week.